We think it's important for you to make an informed choice when you head to the polls. And as we mentioned, the primary is underway for the Shelby County general election. And Republicans, not a lot to talk about there because there's hardly any race. I think there's only one race where there's a contested primary. Democrats, you know that's not going to be the case there. The party prides itself on being disorganized. And so you're going to have some contests. So we've chosen the races that we think have the most impact, maybe are the most visible contests where you can get an idea of who's running and who wants to get your vote if you're inclined to vote in the Democratic primary. We had the candidates for district attorney last week, and we had hoped to invite both candidates. We did invite both candidates for county mayor, Lee Harris, the incumbent, and Ken Moody, who's the challenger. But Lee Harris just never responded to our email, so we assumed that was a no. And he is not here for the show today. But we do have Ken Moody, so we want to bring him in. And Ken, thanks, first of all, for saying yes and being on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you all. It's good seeing y'all. Thank you both for having me on. I look forward to the conversation.
Well, listen, after looking at your bio, you are very proud of your many experiences within city government. You've worked for a number of mayors. You feel like you make a pretty convincing case for knowing how city government operates and probably could apply those skills and knowledge to the county mayor's office as well. We know, though, that the county mayor position, not a very powerful position in terms of influence compared to the city mayor's office. But what difference are you hoping to make that if I'm a Democratic voter and I've got a choice between the incumbent and yourself, why should I vote for you?
Well, again, thank you all for having me. I've had 20 years of government experience, as you guys have mentioned, and as you followed my career. I'm prepared for this because of those 20 years. I'm the only one in this race that has a career in government, started out from the bottom and worked my way up to the top. Worked my way up that allowed me to learn the ins and outs of city government. I'm prepared for the county mayor's race. Again, historically, it happens that the county side comes over to the city side, but this is a unique opportunity. As you mentioned, Richard, the county mayor doesn't have nearly the authority that the city mayor has, but the county mayor has a lot of opportunity to use the influence of that office to bring people together. It has a lot of opportunity to stay engaged and involved and in touch with the community, which is what I've done my entire 20 years in career. I started out as manager of community affairs, manager of the Mayor Citizen Service Center, deputy director of parks, deputy director of public services, and then director of public services. And all of those areas have prepared me to know the ins and outs of city government. And so, as you said earlier, there's not merely the responsibility of the authority in county government as there is city government. But what I've been prepared for in city government is definitely prepared for me to be the county mayor. And I'm excited about the leadership.
Ken, I mentioned Blue Oval City in the earlier segment. That's that massive Ford truck assembly plant that's going to go up. If all goes as planned, it will open in 2025. If you're elected, that means it will open during your tenure. What specifically are you prepared to do to make sure that Shelby County is ready to take advantage of this economic boom in West Tennessee?
And that preparation should start right now. As part of the Mayor Strickland senior leadership team, actually, ironically, just yesterday, myself, the mayor, and many of my colleagues, we met with the Ford people to talk about what they're looking for and what they're going to need. So the first thing we're going to make sure of is that we've got an educated and skilled workforce that can take advantage of those jobs. Transportation is a huge issue. We talked about this yesterday. How do we get workers from Memphis to that mega site, which is 30 miles outside of Memphis? So it's a whole lot of unknown, but preparation, Otis, that should start right now. Unfortunately for me, as part of the Mayor Strickland senior leadership team, we're having those conversations right now. We know what Ford is looking for. We know what those challenges are. So I'm going to be prepared for day one to continue moving forward with preparing our workforce, preparing our transportation system, and all those things, because I'm getting that hands-on experience right now, working for Mayor Strickland and meeting with the Ford people to know exactly what they need to make that project work.
Ken, by announcing your candidacy, I think you would agree you immediately are an underdog in the sense that it's very hard and unconventional for a party to kick out the guy who's the incumbent. They've got name recognition. They have the benefit of the incumbency and all of what goes with that. which means people have to be really upset with the incumbent for them to consider voting them out in favor of somebody else who wants that job. Do you perceive that there is that kind of anger and disenchantment with Mayor Harris that they would be willing to him out?
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I've been an underdog most of my life, Rich. I'm the youngest of 11 kids. I grew up in a single-parent family, so I know the challenge it is in being an underdog and overcoming that underdog. But I will tell you, yes. So if you remember back in October when I announced my exploratory committee, I wanted to go around this county and talk with people to listen before I made that decision to actually jump into this race. And I will tell you, there was a lot of discontent with the current county mayor as it relates to not being engaged and involved, not being able to be responsive, not being responsible, not having an idea of what it actually takes to bring people together. I met with many of the presidents of the chambers in the municipalities that are extremely concerned that he's not taking a lead in economic development, that they feel like there's been opportunities where he should have taken the lead there. He's out there. You heard some pastors the other day who endorsed me. Part of their concern was they supported him the first time. They reached out to him. He's been non-responsive. Throughout this walk that I've had through county, this tour of county and talking with people, I hear that over and over again, that he's detached, that he's not shown the willingness to get on the ground. I mean, even in this campaign season here, I've not seen him much, and I'm not sure if you guys have seen him much. So again, it's a mindset of not being engaged and involved that has people looking for a change. And I will tell you, Richard, people are looking for a change, and I represent that change.
Well, we have not seen him much, to answer your question, which is unfortunate, but this is the way it goes.
We hope he changes.
Ken Moody, thank you so much for being here, and my thanks to Otis as well, and you at home for being here too. We'll see you next week for ABC24 This Week.